Hey guys, it's Angel Marie, and today we have a very different video than what you normally see because we were informed and contacted by Tammeka Hill, who had a traumatic experience with MAC Cosmetics and Macy's department store in the Willow Grove of Pennsylvania section, Willow Grove Mall, basically. And she received something that pretty much harms her for the rest of her life and wanted to spread awareness to others. And we would like to help share her story of what happened when she decided to pay MAC Cosmetics to do her makeup. I am sitting here with Tammeka Hill. Now, this is definitely a new spin on all of the above because this is our very first Zoom interview. So I'm very excited to have you. And this is an interesting story as well that you reached out to us that you would like to share and raise awareness. Would you like to elaborate on why we are speaking today?
The reason I'm here is I went to a MAC Cosmetics inside Macy's store in Willow Grove, PA. I was going to a party. Of course, as we all do as women or, men who wear makeup, I wanted to look nice for the party. I went to MAC Cosmetics to get a full makeup application. That's when my situation went downhill. Several days after me going to MAC getting my makeup done for a party that I was attending, I wound up getting some irritation in my eye. I'm a contact wearer, so I assumed it was my contacts. Took my contacts out, started wearing my glasses. About 9 days after the application, I wound up in an emergency room. I woke up, I couldn't see out of either one of my eyes. I was in excruciating pain. I was, hollering again. If you wake up and you can't see, you're just like, what is going on? So I was disoriented, I was confused, I was in pain. I wound up going, I had to be taken to the emergency room. Went to the emergency room, they did what they did there. Had to go to a cornea specialist the next day. They called in a specialist in the emergency room. He told the doctor, the attending physician at the time, what to do. Told me I had to see him in his office the next day. When I spoke to the cornea specialist, then she alerted me that I was infected with ocular herpes. At that point, I was confused because I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? I've never had herpes in my life. I started to get upset. I started to get a little anxious, and she told me to calm down. She said, calm down, relax. For one, this is not an STD. She was like, so let's be very clear. She was like, there's two different forms of herpes, HSV1, HSV2. She said, you have HSV1, which is ocular herpes in your eye. She said, have you ever had a cold sore before? Have you ever had, she named things that, chickenpox. And I told her, no, I haven't. I've never once had a cold sore in my life. She then started asking me, well, what have you done different in your life? Have you shared cups with someone? Have you, she named several other things, but the two that stood out is the cup sharing, which I told her no. And the reason I don't is because I have lupus. So I'm very, very cautious, which is an autoimmune disease, of whatever I do, because you can sneeze across the street, it'll make me sick. So I'm very cautious. So I told her no. She said, have you shared makeup with any of your friends? I told her no. And then I said, wait a minute, I backtracked. And I said, well, I got my makeup done at MAC Cosmetics a few days ago. And she looked at me and her exact words was, ooh. She said, did they use eyeliner and mascara? I said, yeah, she did a full face of makeup. It's funny because the pocketbook I had on me the time I went to the doctor I had actual samples of some of the sample products that they give you. She told me at this point, there's no, she doesn't need them. She told me more than likely, if I've never had any of these symptoms before or anything like that, she was like, using shared makeup is very contaminating. It's very dangerous. Mm-hmm. So at this point, I'm like in disbelief. I asked her questions more so about the ocular herpes because this is new to me. I was a little still confused because this is happening to me. She then went in and told me how ocular, herpes works. It's basically, you get sores in your eye, in your cornea of your eye. The outbreaks, that's what I was having. She called them dendrites. She explained to me, this is what I'm having. This is what's causing the extreme pain because it feels like a stick stabbing you in your eye. I went home. I started doing some research because, again, I've never heard of anyone getting herpes from makeup.
Exactly.
As I started researching, as I sent you links and I sent you Angel links, I've sent you articles, I've sent you for prior lawsuits. This is quite common. MAC has been sued for this before and they settled. MAC is aware because I've seen several articles and complaints. There's a whole Facebook page of women who has had makeup application at MAC Cosmetics and woke up with eye infections, infections of their mouth, had pink eye, face is swollen. I reached out to some of those women on Facebook. I've actually spoken to some of those women, and it was amazing to me because they explained my exact story. These are women from different states, different races, different, demographics, and they all had the same story.
Now, the fact that so many women have this, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
So many women have this experience and it is out there if you do the research. Why do you feel like it's so easy for MAC to pretty much continue doing this? And for a lot of women, including myself, who had no idea about this?
Because women like ourselves had no idea about this. Again, I didn't know anything about this. I didn't even know this was possible. So women like ourselves, we go into these places thinking, well, first of all, we're not thinking about that, but we're thinking a big company like MAC is going to use the utmost hygienic practices.
And you mentioned that they didn't even send out a disclaimer when they were about to start your makeup. You felt like that would have at least gave you that option to decide on what's about to happen to your face if something were to happen.
MAC took my choice away. The fact that, again, and some of the women I've reached out to, they have emails from MAC offering them free makeup and, as much makeup as they want and this and that. So you're aware this is happening. You've been sued about this and settled. You're aware that this situation is happening. So the thing with MAC is you took my choice away from me. You did not have a sign up that says possible contamination. As you said, the makeup artist didn't give me a disclaimer. Hey, there's a possibility that you can get consent. Had MAC given me a choice, I would have walked away because I have an autoimmune disease already. But you took my choice away from me. And not only did you take my choice away from me, I never once was going to sue MAC. I am actually suing MAC now. I was not going to sue MAC Cosmetics. This happened June 20th of last year. I gave MAC, when I reached out to MAC and told them what happened, no apologies, no this and that. I was pretty much ignored. When I got more aggressive in contacting them, they asked me for my medical records. I gave MAC medical records up to 10 years ago. I gave them all my pharmaceutical records. I gave them employment records because they asked for that. I never once hid anything from MAC because I had nothing to hide. I was an open book. MAC treated me totally rude. They disregarded my feelings. When I approached MAC and when I spoke to people from their executive team, I never asked, I'm going to sue them. My first thing was, I need an apology. You knew this was happening to women and you took my choice away.
Do you feel like that's affected you as a mother and the kind of duties and the work that you do with your children?
It's totally affected me. My daughter is 12 and I can't, when I have these outcomes because of this, I've had multiple outbreaks. So when I have these outbreaks, my face is disfigured for one. I have, herpes lesions on my face, which is disgusting. I can't see out of my eye. I can't drive. I miss daughter's plays. My daughter is very active. I've missed sporting events. I stay in the bed, so I cannot even function as a mother, cooking, cleaning, helping with homework. So it's affecting my home life dramatically.
And then you also, we found out from the story when you reached out to the New York Post, and it's now released and published on their site. What made you go to the New York Post to have that story put out?
When, again, since the situation, I have been researching, and the more I research, I am finding more and more women who have been affected the same way I have. I've reached out to microbiologists. I've reached out to doctors. I reached out to a microbiologist, Professor Warner, who actually did an expose. Well, he was included, let me correct myself, in an expose about contaminations of shared makeup. He's actually a scientist, a microbiologist who tested MAC's makeup, literally tested the samples that he received from MAC testers in their stores. He found all types of things. He found 4 different types of mold. He found staph. He found so many other different bacteria.
And I know you mentioned that before. You said even if you tested on your hand and you could have a cut or a paper cut, it can.
And with the infectious disease doctor told me, a lot of these viruses and bacteria last on wet, damp surfaces, such as makeup. He said something. The best way the doctor explained it to me is he actually pulled out a toothbrush, brushed his teeth, and said, "Here, now you brush your teeth." And I looked at him strange. He said, "Well, what's the difference from you using somebody's makeup or makeup brushes?" He said the bacteria on makeup brushes will last unless they're thoroughly clean.
Exactly. What would you want to say to a lot of women out there who don't know about this or just now learning about the possibilities of using MAC Cosmetics or just using department store makeup beauty brands in general?
Just don't do it. You don't know what's lurking inside those makeup containers. You don't know how it's going to affect you. Again, I'm a woman who was completely ignorant of the situation. I have anxiety and I'm scared every day that my next flare-up is going to be the one to take my eyesight away. I don't want this for any woman, any person, period. What happens to the person that goes in there that, like you said, has a cut and paralyzed? What happens to the person that goes in there that has cancer and wants to feel pretty after chemo and they get a virus like this and it kills them? What happens to the person with HIV that goes in there and because they're autoimmune compromised, something as simple as makeup getting done on them kills them? At what point is it going to take for somebody to actually die for for MAC or anyone else to change their practices?
And I know you said since this happened last year, you've been trying to reach out to MAC and half the time it's like you're getting nowhere. Now you have a team of lawyers, you've visited many doctors. Do you feel like now you're getting the attention from MAC to even come to some sort of consensus or a decision at all or solution?
I haven't heard anything from MAC as of yet. Would I like to sit down with somebody from MAC? I would. Would I like to let them know this is what happened when I visited your establishment? This is something that you knew about, and I would like to express to them, you took my choice away. Mm-hmm. Every day I live in fear of, am I going to lose my right eye to this situation? So I would like some type right now. I would like an apology.
Yeah, and you mentioned that earlier on in the interview. You said you wasn't even thinking about suing them in the first place. All you wanted was an apology. Why did you choose that route? Because normally if someone has that kind of situation, the first thing that comes to their mind is, oh, I'm going to sue you. But you wanted to take the higher approach and at least get an apology. What made you go towards that decision?
The time I was infected, my life was kind of going great. I mean, I know that sounds a little bit, but my life was going good. I had, my dream job. I was marrying the person that I love, my children, my son had just graduated from college, top of his class. So, everything was good. When this happened to me, I was still in a little bit disbelief, but what I wanted to do is make MAC aware of this. Like, this happened to me. This has happened before. What do you want to do about it?
Wow. So I would say within this next year, where do you hope to at least close out this chapter? What do you hope will happen with your incident with MAC and Macy's department store?
I would like them to be more hygienic. I would like their practices to change. Or even if they decide that profit is more important and they won't change their practices, give me a warning sign. There should be signs that says use at your own risk, possible contamination. At least the consumer has they have a choice.
I definitely appreciate this, especially with you reaching out to us to share this story. This is something very important and near and dear to my heart because I'm a woman. So I appreciate you for bringing that to my knowledge. And it's crazy because literally within this week alone, I've been watching thousands of YouTube makeup videos now because I don't do my own makeup. I usually have someone else do it. And sometimes people will hire a makeup artist and I feel like that's almost the same. They're doing makeup on multiple people and you don't know how often they're cleaning their products. So I say, who's better to do my makeup than myself? It's my own brushes, my own products, lessen the curve a little bit.
And that's what I say. If you're going to get your makeup done by the makeup, and I'm not taking anything from a makeup artist because there's some amazing, she did a great job when she did my makeup. It's just she wasn't hygienic.
Yeah.
And it's my thing with that is it's okay for a makeup artist to do your makeup, but from now on, if I ever, and I don't even know because of the anxiety and the fear I have right now, but if I ever decide to get my makeup done again, it will be my makeup, it will be my brushes, so I won't ever have to worry about me. Again, I fear every day that I'm going to lose my eyesight.
Thank you so much. And again, I know I asked you if you had any final words, but is there any final thoughts that you would like to add before we close out our interview?
Just the same thing I've been saying. If you're in the store, purchase, do not test. Please do not test testers. My final remark to Mac is choose safety over profit.
Definitely.
Please.
Thank you so much, Tammeka.
You're welcome.
And we're going to add links to this as well, so you guys can stay informed. If you're too lazy, unfortunately, to do the research yourself, we are going to provide it below for you, because this is something very important that everyone needs to know. Once you find this out, share it with your friends, your cousins, sisters, best friends. I mean, men wear makeup too. Share it with everyone. I feel like the more we spread this knowledge, the more that we can keep people safe. I hope you all stay informed, know what you're putting onto your skin, in your body, on your body, whatever the case may be. And I just want to say thank you again to Tammeka Hill for being so brave and sharing her story with us and to the world, basically. And we do hope that she receives justice, an apology, money, refund, something, anything to help with this lifelong threat to her skin and her body now. And if you guys would like to join in on the conversation, if you would like to ask Tammeka Hill any questions, definitely hop into our comment section below. We also have information in our caption section where you guys can find articles and direct links where you can get and receive more information. Last but not least, if you guys would like to stay up to date with everything that is going on with all of the above, push that subscribe button. That is how you stay up to date with everything that is going on with our show. And as usual, I'm your girl, Angel Marie, and I will see you guys next time.
Wednesdays at 7, Angel Marie and Kevin playing the illest records, bringing us back together. Philly is all season, storming through any weather, leaving the track bleeding. When we pull it together, we applying my pressure.